am DJ Cadero. Yeah. Welcome to the Diaspora Show with me, your host, DJ Cadero, here on 87.9 The Culture, where the culture of hip-hop and R&B lives. What's going on? It is Tuesday. Not just that, it's Top 10 Tuesday on June 23rd, 2026. We got one hell of a show for you. For those that don't know, this is how the show works. First, I give you guys the diaspora news. That's top stories going on in Africa, the Caribbean, and anywhere else that the African diaspora is centered. After that, I give you guys words of wisdom through the African proverb of the day. Looking at African proverb of the day. That's words of wisdom either through a life lesson or an affirmation. Once that is all said and done, then I give you guys the best beats, the best vibes, the best melodies. And it is Tuesday, Top 10 Tuesday. So I'll be counting down with you guys the top 10 Afrobeat hits of the week. And this week is something special. How about it? How do you like it, huh? Well, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started with the diaspora news. Come on.
Live from 879 Studios in Omaha, Nebraska. This is Diaspora News with your anchor, DJ Cadero.
That's me. Let's get into it. What's up? What up? What's going on? What's up? Good morning to those that are in the Midwest. Good afternoon to everybody else. And good night and good evening to our international listeners. What's up? What up? What's up? You guys catch some of the World Cup games yesterday? Senegal, man. Come on, Senegal. Senegal's got a... for those that don't know, pretty much we're rounding out the group stage. Well, the FIFA World Cup has kicked off and they're rounding up the group stages. So every team is in a group. And most of the African teams... Well, let me not say most. Some of the African teams are... It's going to come down to the third game for them to get to the knockout stage. That's pretty much the next stage. Otherwise, you're eliminated. And so we'll see how this goes. In the meantime, for those that want to know how to chat with me throughout the entire show, go ahead and in the app itself, there's a group chat tab. Click on the tab, and then it will ask for you to create a username and password once you decided that you want to enter into the chat. Keep the password for yourself, but the username will be read aloud. We'll all be able to at least see it. How about it? In the chat, DJ Mr. Soul. Ow! What's up, DJ Mr. Soul, man? Always checking in. And then Lita says, what up, DJ Cadero? What's up, Lita, huh? You guys can catch DJ Mr. Soul on the DJ Mr. Soul Show at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And then Lita, you can catch Lita's new show. You guys can catch Lita's new show. I'm going to confirm on the name. I should know this name. You guys can catch Lita's new show. In the meantime, let's go on and get with the diaspora news. Lita, don't attack me. All right, we just got two stories just today, both dealing in Africa. One in East Africa and then one in South Africa. Or excuse me, one in East Africa and one in West Africa. Oh. All right, we start off with our first story, and it deals with the Kenyan court. And once again, they've stopped the Ebola facility construction. So our first story takes us to Kenya, where the Kenyan High Court has stopped the construction of a United States-funded Ebola quarantine facility. The planned site is located in Nyanyuki at an air base, and it's meant to house American citizens exposed to the virus in nations of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. Again, Kenya has never had a recorded case of Ebola, but the DRC and Uganda has. Citizens are very upset, saying that this is just an opportunity for US citizens that have been exposed to the virus to bring the virus to Kenya. But Kenyans would not be able to do the same and quarantine in the United States. The plan may face massive public backlash. Protests in the area recently turned violent, leading to at least 2 deaths. And activists argue that the government didn't consult anybody, let alone local citizens. And so today, Kenya's High Court held the nation's health minister in contempt of the entire ordeal. The official allegedly ignored an earlier court order to stop construction. And in a late-breaking update, the minister told the court that plans are now officially frozen, meaning at a standstill. And the judge is demanding full transparency regarding the $13.5 million deal with the United States. For more on this, we go on the ground to Kenya to find out exactly on what's going on. Had the health minister violated a court order, or is this just blown out of proportion? Let's take a listen.
Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has been cited for contempt of court over the continued construction of an Ebola-related facility at Laikipia Air Base in Nanyuki. In a ruling delivered on Monday, Lady Justice Nyaundi Patricia ruled that the CS defied court orders issued on May 28th and affirmed on June 2nd, which had halted the establishment and operationalization of the facility pending the hearing of a constitutional petition. NTV's Oko Kusa begins our broadcast tonight.
Consequently, the court directed the cabinet secretary to appear before it tomorrow for mitigation and sentencing. The ruling stems from a petition filed by Katiba Institute, which accused the government of disregarding court directives. Katiba Institute moved to court, alleging that despite clear conservatory orders stopping the establishment of an Ebola quarantine isolation and treatment facility at Laikipia Air Base, construction activities continued. The petitioner argued that government officials were fully aware of the orders and cited media reports, satellite imagery, and public statements suggesting that work at the site had not ceased. However, the government, through CS Duale, denied the allegations, maintaining that all activities linked to a collaboration with the United States had been suspended immediately after the court orders were issued. But in her determination, the judge found that while the government had sufficiently complied with orders requiring disclosure of documents, it had failed to comply with the directive suspending construction activities. The judge further held that the court's orders were clear and binding and could not be circumvented by altering the parties involved in the project while continuing the same activities. Describing court orders as commands rather than suggestions, Lady Justice Nyaundi concluded that the continued construction amounted to contempt of court. Oukokusa, NTV.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, I am DJ Cadero.
Here's to beef. The one that...
Come on. I am DJ Cadero here on the Diaspora Show. This is the Diaspora News segment. I'm your anchor here on 87.9 The Culture. It is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026, and we're getting into our top stories. Our first story deals with a Kenyan High Court has stopped all construction on the Ebola facility that's being backed by the United States financially. A Kenyan judge has held a Kenyan high official in contempt, saying that they violated court orders of the stop by continuing to build anyways. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this whole ordeal. Do you think that this Ebola facility will just be built anyways because they violated the first time? Or do you feel like, you know, now that they're being held in contempt, that this will stop? Let's go to the chat and see what your guys' thoughts are. In the chat, Lita, I apologize. Again, you guys can catch Lita's show. It's called Saved But Still. Again, Saved But Still. I apologize, Lita. I don't know why I forgot. I don't know. Okay. All right. We're moving on to our second and last story, and it deals with calls for the Nigerian president to resign. Hey, let's get into it. We go to West Africa, where the Nigerian government has dismissed recent demands for the president to step down. Opposition groups and critics have called for a leadership change due to economic pressures and security concerns across the country of Nigeria. Government officials in Nigeria pushed back today, and they called the demands a distraction. They insist that the administration remains focused on fixing the economy and boosting safety. The current president of Nigeria is Bola Tinubu, who has been accused of being lackadays when it comes to the economy, also lackadays when it comes to corruption, high corruption, and then allowing the United States military to shoot down Nigerian civilians who are not terrorists in the northern parts of Nigeria. Government officials urge citizens to support ongoing reforms rather than looking for political division. We go on the ground where this is being discussed. Again, the calls for Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu is being spearheaded by presidential candidate Peter Obi. Let's go on the ground.
Thank you for joining us on the Midday News, reaching you live from our Abuja studio. I am Tijesu Adeoye. We begin with the presidency's response to Peter Obi's call for President Tinubu's resignation. The presidency has dismissed calls describing the remark as childish and a distraction from governance. In a statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the presidency defended the administration's performance on security, the economy, and infrastructure, insisting that Nigeria has recorded measurable progress since 2023. The statement argues that comparisons between Nigeria's presidential system and the United Kingdom's parliamentary model are misplaced, maintaining that President Tinubu was elected for a fixed 4-year term. The presidency also cited improvements in security operations, increased oil production, higher government revenues, infrastructure projects, electricity sector reforms, and expanded student loan initiatives as evidence of the administration's achievements. While acknowledging the country's economic challenges, it attributed rising living costs partly to global developments and insisting the government remains focused on reforms. The statement concludes that calls for the president's resignation are politically motivated and reaffirmed the administration's commitments to delivering on its agenda.
Between 50 and 70.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm DJ Cadero, your anchor here on the Diaspora News, on the Diaspora Show on 87.9 The Culture, where hip-hop and R&B lives. We're getting into our second story on the Diaspora News, and we're covering the alarming calls, the increasing calls for the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, to resign. And it's being spearheaded by presidential candidate Peter Obi. We'll keep tracking the story as it develops, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do you think that Nigeria needs new leadership, especially what we've seen over the past maybe 2-3 years? Let's go to the chat, see if the chat has any response. Lita says it's okay. Thanks for the shout out. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you, Lita. Again, you guys can catch Lita's show, Saved But Still. Saved But Still. All right. Well, that's it. That's usually we got 3 stories, but that's it. As far as today, maybe my personal news that I get to share with you guys is that today, imagine today, the only World Cup game that you guys should be paying attention to is Ghana and England. That's it. I said the only game that you guys should pay attention to today, as far as the World Cup, is Ghana and England. It starts at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. England has a pretty strong squad, led by Jude Bellingham, but also Ghana has one of the strongest squad. Actually, Ghana, besides Senegal and Egypt, have been largely the 3 African teams, if there's going to be any African teams that are going to win it, Ghana is one of them. And also, this is going to be maybe a rematch of the colonial wars. Again, Ghana received its independence from England during the time of Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president. Did you guys know that Kwame Nkrumah attended an HBCU, a historically black college and university, Lincoln University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? Did you guys know that? You guys know that? So yes, if you're African diaspora, which I assume that you are by listening to this show, do your best to be cheering on Ghana. I know I will be. It's going to be one hell of a show. Well, how about this? While you guys take care of what you guys need to take care of this morning, while you're listening to me, make your coffee, make your breakfast, make your tea, make your eggs, your scrambled eggs, and your avocado toast. I'm going to hit you guys with a music break, and when we come back, we'll have the African proverb of the day. Yes, it's the African proverb. Is that okay? Huh? Can we do that? Can we do that? And then when we come back, we'll also have the Top 10 Tuesday, where we count down the top 10 top 10 Afrobeat hits of the week. Again, I'm DJ Cadero. This is the Diaspora News on the Diaspora Show on 87.9 The Culture, where the culture of hip-hop and R&B lives. We'll be right back. It's Burner Boy, and we're sitting on top of the world. Come on.